Chris Yapi addresses President John Dramani Mahama. Beware of the Alassane Ouattara, Nana Akufo-Addo duo. Ghana in peril. President John Dramani Mahama, the hour is grave. As you embark on this new term, full of hope for Ghana, an insidious danger lurks at your borders, and within the shadows of power circles. This danger has two names, Alassane Ouattara and his unwavering ally, Nana Akufo-Addo, former president of Ghana. If you believe you know your adversaries, allow me to tell you, with all the gravity the situation demands, you have yet to fully grasp who you are dealing with. Alassane Ouattara is not just another politician. He embodies a policy of betrayal, plunder, and submission to foreign interests. His friendship with Akufo-Addo, sealed through years of economic looting, poses a direct threat to Ghana's sovereignty and stability. Mr. Mahama, the Ghanaian people must remain vigilant. A ruthless man, ready for anything. Alassane Ouattara is a man who renounced his native land, Burkina Faso, to establish himself in Côte d'Ivoire, and wage a bloody war with the sole aim of seizing power. A man, capable of tearing a country apart to satisfy his personal ambitions is, without a doubt, a dangerous man. Since forcing his way into power in Côte d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara has never dared to return to his father's grave in Sindou, Burkina Faso. Why? Because he refuses to be reminded of his origins. A man willing to deny his own father, and homeland to preserve a political facade, is a man with a corrupted soul. A servile pawn of French imperialism. Alassane Ouattara is the servile executor of France's dirty work in West Africa. It is an open secret, Paris installed him in power to safeguard its strategic and economic interests in the region. Today, Ouattara is the zealous architect of maneuvers aimed at destabilizing the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. Let us not forget, he orchestrated illegal and inhumane sanctions against Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, causing the deaths of many innocents, and was the first to mobilize 850 to 1,000 soldiers to attack Niger when France sought to crush Nigerian resistance. He offered Côte d'Ivoire as a military base for French troops, turning his country into a colonial outpost. The looting alliance, Ouattara and Akufo-Addo. Mr. Mahama, if you still doubt Alassane Ouattara's duplicity, ask the leaders of Mali. When the young Malian colonels seized power and placed Ouattara at the head of the transition, Ouattara, acting as France's perfect accomplice, manipulated Ouattara to attempt a coup against them. It was only thanks to the courageous revelations of patriots that the plot was narrowly thwarted. Let us also remember how, after the fall of Roch-Marc Christian Kabore in Burkina Faso, Ouattara bribed Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba to betray his people and comrades in arms. Once again, patriotic soldiers, led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, had to intervene to save their nation. Ouattara and Akufo-Addo, a toxic duo for Ghana. Ouattara and Akufo-Addo are not just political allies, they are accomplices in the systematic plundering of Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. With the wealth extorted from their respective peoples, they will seek to destabilize your government and subjugate Ghana to Western interests. Do not underestimate their capacity for harm. These are men for whom power knows no moral bounds, men who will not hesitate to betray, corrupt, and destroy to serve their masters and fill their coffers. A threat to economic and cultural independence. By promoting massive debt through the IMF and World Bank, Ouattara and Akufo-Addo have plunged their nations into a vicious cycle of economic dependence. Under your leadership, Ghana risks becoming the next target of this financial enslavement strategy if you do not firmly resist their influence. These men also embody a dangerous cultural submission. In seeking the approval of Western powers at the expense of African values, they threaten the cultural and political independence of our region. Ghana must protect itself from this wave of alienation. Repression and enforced silence. Ouattara has muzzled all opposition in Côte d'Ivoire through arbitrary arrests and relentless censorship. Akufo-Addo, accused of suppressing dissenting voices, has shown he can follow the same path. Allowing this duo to influence Ghana is to risk seeing political sovereignty and freedom of expression stifled. A call for vigilance and action. Mr. Mahama, History teaches us that the greatest downfalls of African leaders often come from those they thought they knew and controlled. Do not make this mistake. Beware of Alassane Ouattara like the plague. Beware of Nana Akufo-Addo. They will stop at nothing. To the people of Ghana, I say this: stay vigilant. What happened in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger could happen here if we let our guard down. Do not let these predators jeopardize our future. Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana share a history, but today, it is imperative to protect ourselves from those who, driven by greed and submission, seek to sell our nations out. Chris Yapi does not lie. Find Chris Yapi on his 2 YouTube channels, his Rumble channel, his TikTok, X, Instagram, VK and Threads accounts.